To the World's Worst Film Festival, episode 2. We are joined today by 3 more incredible filmmakers. I just got told we're live. Thank you. Hope I didn't jump again. Whatever. And Derek Gildersleeve of Originator Studios. This World's Worst Film Festival is something that Derek and his friends used to do together, and we decided to start doing virtually during the quarantine. Derek, why don't you tell people a little bit more about why we're here?
Yeah, we used to do this as an event where all of us would get together with our friends at someone's house, and we'd bring whatever projects we were the least proud of or most embarrassed by. And it kind of turned into this somewhat inspirational way of like looking at our past and celebrating some of the mistakes that we had made and thinking about how it brings some humility into thinking this is where we've come from and this is where we started. So we wanted to do something like that as an event in Austin, and we thought during this lockdown, what better way to do it than to bring it online. So we've asked filmmakers to come in. We're going to share all their films. We're streaming to Facebook and YouTube. We've also, in the description of both streams, we've got information about some nonprofits that we're encouraging people to donate to, because a lot of filmmakers are feeling this time. It's a really hard time for a lot of filmmakers. So AFS and Hyperreal Film Festival, there's donation links directly in there, and we'll revisit that towards the end there. But anyway, we're here. We've got our filmmakers. Becky Jo, do you want to go ahead and maybe start with Ben's introduction, and we'll kind of hear a little bit about everybody, see some of their work?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Pulling up things. There we go. All right. Ben Steinbauer is an award-winning film, television, and commercial director and co-owner of The Bear here in Austin. His feature documentary, Winnebago Man, is quite possibly the funniest documentary ever made, or so said Michael Moore. He's directed episodes for the CBS doc series Pink Collar Crimes, Stories of the Mind from PBS, as well as several short docs that instantly became Vimeo staff picks, Flow to Show, Heroes from the Storm, and Call to Okies, the Park Grubs story. Ben, thank you so much for being here. What projects are you currently working on?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. Well, let's see. Right now, I am working my way slowly through all the canned goods in our pantry because we sort of shopped like the store was going to close forever. But luckily, we have enough toilet paper to last for at least the next 2 weeks, so we're good. So don't worry, there, Becky Jo, we got it covered.
Stay prepped.
Thank you. Yes, always be prepared. And then in terms of films, everything has had the brakes slammed on. So we have 2 projects going. Barrent, is joining us here on the panel, is my business partner at The Bear, and we're a production studio here in Austin, and we're always working on projects, and whether those are features or commercials or anything in between. And I have 2 feature doc projects, one that I'm co-directing with Barrent, about a sort of celebrity American musician that we're not at liberty to talk about just yet. But we're working on this project with our buddies at Rough House, David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and Jody Hill and those guys. So we're super excited about that. And then I've been working on a documentary about my buds who are in the movie Winnebago Man that you guys referenced, who run the Found Footage Festival. And they also do a thing when they're out touring where they go and they prank local morning news stations by inventing these fictional characters, like a chef who can't cook or a yo-yo master who can't yo-yo, and getting booked on local morning TV, and then just embarrassing the shit out of themselves live in front of a local television audience. And so that one's called Fake the News, and I've been working on that for the last couple of years. So those are the 2 things that I got cooking.
Awesome. That's badass. Sick. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be a really fun show. I'm excited to do this.
Me too. Thank you. And I'm excited to be here with these guys.
Yeah.
It's a great group. All right, let's check out Barrent Mader.
All right. Barrent is an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker in Austin, Texas, and fellow co-owner of The Bear. His documentary for the Yeti called Soul of a City is a beautiful piece of Austin culture, which was nominated for a Tribeca X Award. He has directed 2 award-winning feature films, Booger Red and 5-time champion. He also happened to be Derek's film professor at the University of Texas. And Derek says, Barrett, lay down the hammer for those students with bad films. So, Barrett, what is next for you?
I think you're muted there, buddy.
Barrett's muted.
Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, thanks for having me. I am, like Ben said, we're co-directing this new documentary on an unnamed American musician that you all have heard of. And that's just gotten started. We actually just did our first shoot under the cover of the COVID madness. So it was very safe. We kept our distance, but it was an interesting trial in trying to shoot under these circumstances. But I'm also working on a couple of other projects. I got a TV show with a couple of local Austin favorites, Bill Wise and Chris Dubeck, which is called Last Looks. It's loosely based on their real lives, where they are living together at 50 years old. They're roommates in the twilight of their acting careers. And the show is all about what if you're not a late bloomer? What if you just never bloom at all?
Oh,
and,
no.
So it's about them and these two actors who kind of have been in tons of movies, gone toe to toe with the greatest actors out there, but have just never broken through. So we've been working on that the last couple of years, actually.
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to actually watch that and as an actor just cry out of how relatable that'll probably be like, I don't, this is gonna be me. Oh no. Shoot. All right, shall we see our
let's
last
take a look.
and final intro?
Absolutely. Mr. Chris.
All right. Chris is an Austin-based writer and director with a keen eye for slasher comedies. Short films Bad Guy Number 2, Death Metal, and We Summon a Demon have accumulated over 450 official festival selections. He recently directed a segment in the upcoming horror anthology Scare Package, which looks like a blast to watch. Chris, thank you so much for your filmmaking contributions. Any works in the progress that we can look forward to?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. Like you said, Scare Package is supposed to get released here this year. They haven't announced the news yet, but it should be soon. And then I'm working on what I hope to be my first feature film. I've been a short filmmaker for a long time. I think it's time to move into the features. It's a werewolf horror comedy that all takes place in a hospital, kind of like Die Hard, but instead of terrorists, it's werewolves.
Yes.
And it is called Intensive Care Wolves. And the script is pretty much finished, and we're just in the process of raising funds and getting this thing going.
I love a pun. If a horror slasher werewolf movie doesn't have a pun in its name, is it truly in that genre?
I know, what came first, the title or the movie script?
Definitely the title.
Definitely the title.
I think we were there for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that title for like 10 years, and I bought the domain, renewed it every year just in case I would ever get this movie made.
Yeah.
That sounds
so
amazing,
good.
Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you so
all.
much.
Yeah, thank you. Is this a good time to mention to everyone that the 3 filmmakers here, we all are old friends, and we met in graduate school at the University of Texas at Austin, where I was Derek Gildersleeve's professor at one point.
So cool.
So we're old friends, and we actually started a company together called The Bear, which Ben and I still work at, but Chris ditched us a long time ago.
Yeah,
Chris?
he had to actually make some money. Ben and we accidentally started a nonprofit, and Chris was like, guys, I have to make some profit.
You accidentally started a nonprofit. You're like, well, we didn't think about this.
Yeah.
Same time when you guys came up with Intensive Care Wolves, you're like, you know what's a good idea? Nonprofit filmmaking.
It was so nonprofit that a 501c3 wasn't even required.
Oh. See, I am so broke, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
You could say 50 sounds like a bra size to me. I don't know what that.
Ooh.
Sounds terrifying.
I'll never forget a great memory working with the 3 of y'all, waking up at 4:30 in the morning, driving to a JCPenney that was halfway to Waco, and shooting JCPenney commercials with you guys, and then y'all always making the joke that you'd pay me eventually. So that was fun.
And you know what, Derek? That joke is still funny. It still works because, you know, the check is in the mail. We'll pay you eventually for this shit. We really appreciate you, donating your salary back to the company. It was just above and beyond.
There's no
buddy.
place
Thank
I would have
you.
rather been, boys. It was great.
Someday you're going to get a JCPenney gift card in the mail, and it's going to be from them. And they're like, here's your payment. You're welcome. Go buy some khakis.
All right, I just wanted, before we play the films, let's take a little look at the criteria here.
Yes.
So, this is Becky, Joe, and I at the end are going to kind of judge which of these films we think is the best, worst, and these are some of the things we're looking at. Your intention was to make a good film. It's hard to watch, yet you watch all the way to the end.
Like a car crash.
I love this one. The film does not exist on your actor's reel, meaning the actors in the film did not put this film on their reel.
That's
a good
great.
one.
That's so true.
You hid it from the public, and it could be used for blackmail. So we're going to come back later and look at all of them, but those are the criteria we're going on.
It's going to be cringy and great. I hope y'all are ready, and we all took happy pills before this.
All right.
Yeah, we established that Barrett's in the middle of a peyote ceremony right now, so he is
right in the middle of it, y'all. Take a look, size it up. This is what it looks like.
That's what the astral plane looks like right there.
It turns out that like his camera is like actually backwards, and he's looking into something that's not actually a Zoom meeting, and we're all just in this imagination.
Hanging upside down somehow.
Yeah.
Becky Joe, you jest, but your words are true.
True. That's why I put my like lights on Funkify, so they're just going to be steady raving the whole time.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't even need that. He does not need that.
He thought it was already there. Just happens to be already in his brain. All right. I don't know.
Barrett just calls those lights.
Lights. The Northern Lights. Are we going to start? I think we should.
Let's jump right in. Right? We're starting with Ben.
Yes, this film.
Oh boy.
Tell us a little bit about it, Ben.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this is a little unusual in the sense that this was a cinematography exercise in graduate school. So this was not a film that we made together thinking that this was going to be anything other than what it was, which was this exercise that I don't even remember. Do you guys remember? It was like we had to shoot it on film. There had to be slow motion in it, I think. And then I also remember using it for an audio recording class. And so there was like, we had to have music and audio and nat sound. And it was kind of one of those like multi-purpose projects that like fit a lot of different requirements for various classes. And to be honest, I think everybody else kind of just like phoned something in, but the three of us, and then, well, you're muted, Barrett, but I think you said that we phoned it in too. Is that right?
No, I said we don't phone anything in.
Oh.
We did. We went all in. We committed to this, and I think we thought we were hilarious, and we had to show this to the class a lot, and we were like proud of it.
Yes.
And I think everybody else was like, shut up, nerds, beat it. But we were like, that was great. Let's watch it. Like, we thought this was super funny. And so it's basically, yes. I mean, yes. There's no way we can't because all three of us are in it at this, as you'll see. And the thing I remember about it is that there was no plan other than I lived by a park. And I had like a box full of costumes because I used to make music videos when I played in a bunch of crappy bands back in college. And so I just had this like weird collection of like a shitty blazer that you will see Barrett wear. And for some reason I play the jogger, and I had like I felt like my shorts needed to be like really high and tight and wear like a pair of headphones from the 70s. And there's just a lot of like really questionable choices that were made all the way around in this film. And I think it was basically, we took that box of costumes, a very rough idea about how Barrett was going to be. I think, a spokesman based on Winnebago Man, if I remember correctly, because you do swear and there is like an outtake, and we're purposely making it sort of cheesy.
Ben, I don't want to interrupt you, but that sounded like a lot of excuses for how this turned out. So why don't we watch it and then we'll talk to you again afterwards.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Lee.
Look at that tilt.
Yeah, I think that was part of the assignment. We had to use.
Oh, hello.
And what does that say?
Say that the clothes make the man.
It was just
And that a
there.
man makes his clothes.
Yeah, diptych.
And then a
But I
man's
think that
job
applies to Barrett in this
makes his
situation.
clothes his own. Here at Hasselhoff Job Placement,
Like,
we
what are
provide
you wearing
assistance
there?
for those
What,
Why did
who
you
feel
that
they're
backward
performing
hat
inadequately
really
in their current line of work.
confuses the whole
I
issue.
can't believe how thin I look. Look at that cut on action.
Take a look at Tracy, who's a perfect example of someone who could benefit
I love that you think
from
there for a
Hasselhoff
minute
Job
about
Placement
like,
Services.
oh, now I turn.
Yes. I will always love a boob spike.
Cue McInroy.
yeah.
I think
Look at,
zooms
look
are
at
also
that.
required in this exercise.
You spit.
I think
Is
spitting was
spitting
required.
Yeah.
Getting what's required.
No, that was your touch. I remember, Chris. You were like, "What if my character spits every time at the end?" And it was brilliant. It was. I still stand by that. That was a brilliant choice. And so here we actually had to replace the music to make it usable for this. But that's our buddy Sam Jorgensen, who is from Australia. And he, in that moment, he turns and he goes, "Blimey, crikey, a dingo's got my baby!" And then he beats up Chris at his fishing pole.
If you thought it could get any better, Ben just delivered on some of the dialogue in
What
the
is
film.
his running style?
Yeah, and then I don't know why I'm running like this.
Is
My
Chris
character's choice.
is Chris wearing shorts on top of blue jeans, by the way?
Yes,
Is that what
he
happened? Is that-
That's why I said there's a lot of questionable decisions being made in this. Like, I'm not sure why I was running like that. Chris was supposed to have been trying to pick my pocket and unable to catch me.
Oh, Tracy, you couldn't pick the pocket of a fat kid on a motorbike. All you need is Hasselhoff Job Placement.
You can't really say
We'll
that
fix
kind of
you
stuff
up,
anymore.
give you some
No,
muscle
it's like
relaxants and some rocky
well.
road, and just hang out. Come on down to Hasselhoff, and you should too. Find a job that suits you.
Creeping in women's restrooms.
Here we go.
Yeah, we thought that was hilarious. And then, so here, this is a Beatles song, but Baron goes, Hasselhoff! And you guys high five and go down the slide.
Oh, I think we have it in here. You'll hear the Beatles song kind of come in.
Okay. Okay.
Smell that, Frank and Tracy? You smell that, Tracy? There's a strawberry down in here. Smell it.
Why?
We weren't worried so much about the plot.
You guys
Plot
are
was
such
not
good
a requirement.
friends by the end. See, you guys became such good friends. I love it.
Yeah.
So sweet. Wow.
So I
that's
guess-
a journey.
You
I
guys,
guess
I'm crying over here.
ostensibly that film is. I guess it's about Hasselhoff Job Placement Services,
Yes.
and Barrett was the spokesman, and Chris was our prime candidate for needing a job because he was a failed pickpocket, and instead of learning how to pickpockets, he and Barrett just start a sort of homoerotic bromance at the end.
I don't understand why you feel the need to explain the plot. I think it's quite evident from the visual narrative crafted on screen.
I will say that I showed that to my wife, who had never seen it before, and I was laughing the whole time, you know, like at jokes that I thought were very funny. She did not laugh, and then at the end, she goes, "What?" And that was basically her feedback.
That was also our
like
professor,
actual
probably.
content.
was that the first time all three of y'all worked on something together? That was the start of all this?
It may have been. I don't
Do
know.
you
if
guys
that
remember?
Was that second
Yeah.
semester of the first year, or was that first semester?
I think that was first semester, right? Because you take cinematography, like we learned how to do all that, and then we go make our.
Okay.
I think I don't really remember.
It
So-
might have been, but Chris also shot a documentary with me up in North Texas.
That might have been second semester, though.
Oh, okay.
I do remember that Chris, we had a party in grad school, like the first couple of weeks of grad school. There was a similar idea to this where everybody brought their films, except for instead of them being bad, it was like bring something you're excited about that you want to show your classmates. And I remember essentially having like a panic attack during this whole party because I'm just worried to death about, I don't know these people. Like I'm just getting to know everybody, and everybody's like posturing and trying to be like, I'm a good filmmaker. I know what I'm doing. And I remember Chris played one of his early shorts because he'd been making shorts for a while. And I remember being like, oh, that guy's good. That guy knows what he's doing. Oh man, I'm a hack.
Let's get him.
Oh no. I guess did you, what's different from your styles when you like work together as graduate students versus now? Like, well, maybe Chris, I don't know. Chris left. He's the Michelle, but we don't know. How is your like dynamic different now?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know that it is. I think we all three just like immediately became friends. And that happens in grad school, and especially in our class where it was like, there were only 12 people and you're forced in that environment to collaborate with everybody. So everybody kind of gets the opportunity to work together. And then everybody kind of finds their people that they want to continue to work with. And I think really early on, the three of us were like, oh, we've got a shared sensibility and we like the same type of movies and we laugh at all the same fart jokes or whatever. And we basically have just like kind of been working together in the same way ever since.
That's so special.
Well, that's
film school.
That's a good transition to Barrett's film, because I get the sense that all of y'all had something to do with this precious piece of work here. Barrett, do you want to cue up what we're about to see? Just a short description, no excuses.
Sure. No, this is a really crazy project because I think about a year into my relationship with my wife. We were just dating still, and I went to her family's Christmas at her family's home in Pennsylvania, and was introduced to this very funny friend of her parents named Phil Sky. And Phil and his brother were constantly cooking up new inventions. One of their inventions was a pizza topper, an edible it wasn't not sweet, but savory pizza topping that would spell out happy birthday to Derek or whatever. That was one of their inventions. It was something for birthdays. You could put basically an icing topping with a message on a pizza. And this was their other invention, which was a bib bag, which they were trying to sell McDonald's on the idea of these plastic bags that you would be handed at McDonald's. Your food would be in the bag, but the bag could then be put around your head and worn as a bib. And I, at the time, don't think I thought it was as crazy as it sounds coming out of my mouth right now. But this guy, Phil Sky, wanted to do a commercial. And at the time, he had what I considered a lot of money to make a commercial. Which was, I think, $7,000, which was by far the largest amount of money we'd ever been paid to do anything.
That's still more than I get now.
What's that?
That's still more than I get now.
Well, anyway, so we dreamed up this idea on he basically didn't know what to do, how to tell this story. And so Ben and Chris and myself were it was in the first year. Chris, I don't know if you had left to go to T3 or not at that point, but we basically came together. We figured out a story. We wrote a script, and to introduce the bib bag to the world, and especially to McDonald's, who is hopefully going to be a corporate account for these people.
Yes, big dreams.
Oh my God.
All right, the bib bag.
All right, without further ado.
That's Chris's car.
Here's your food, sir. And the new bag is also used as a bib.
Thanks.
And that's my sister.
Yes.
It's nice to try.
This deadpan pouring got me I spat out my coffee. I was just like, what in the hell?
But he's not worried because he's wearing a
shirt
bib
is
bag.
fine, yeah.
This guy's like, he's like the poor man's John Krasinski.
That's a great way to describe it.
He was coincidentally my roommate in college, John Krasinski.
Really? This guy.
What?
Yes, everybody's worked with this man.
Drew Welpy. He
Drew.
rules.
Hey, roll your window down, man.
His window is down.
See you work. Hear you.
Like
Drew
that
Wel-
window is...
That actor Drew Welpley is actually does ayahuasca ceremonies in the Amazon in Peru, I believe.
No kidding.
Is that where you're at right now?
That's where he's at. That's where he's at right now. I'm just on the ayahuasca journey in Peru.
Oh, I felt this
You
in
know
my
where
soul.
I'm at.
See,
This
the reveal here is the best with the boss.
Hey, sir. Hey, you missed a gigantic spot about right here.
He does the weatherman point.
know it is, but what are you?
Around here.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
Looks like you've had a bit of an
Oh.
accident.
Oh, that reveal.
Yes, sir.
That is a classic reveal.
Smug son of a
Should try
bitch.
one of these bib bags.
You know, I told him that exact thing.
They're really very corporate.
John Krasinski.
This,
Like
is,
the
this
office.
is my favorite part of the whole video, this part right
Yeah.
here.
Right. Oh my God.
Like
that's
the
funny.
airplane safety comic.
And Christy did the graphics, right?
She
So Parents
did.
of Life
Yeah.
created all
My,
this.
my fancy After Effects work here, just rolling through the graphic.
Wow, Chris.
Really good.
Can't believe this is actually a real thing that somebody's trying
So
to do.
good.
Gold.
You knew David was there.
Yes.
There you
So-
go.
Funny thing about that piece was that evidently it went kind of viral before viral at McDonald's.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like people in corporate McDonald's were either making fun of it or just laughing about it and knew about it. And I was kind of excited because I thought Phil, who hired us, was going to like sell this thing to McDonald's and be a millionaire.
Are you sure that they weren't just appreciating the cinematography and the acting and the
Shade.
the lighting and impeccable location sound?
yeah, the direction in that was really it actually what like I have to hand it to you and to Chris. I do feel like as silly as that is, that still has hallmarks of like your sense of humor and like how you shoot stuff now. Like with the deadpan pour or the like roll your window down, man. Like that still like makes me laugh and I know makes you guys laugh too.
For sure.
Classic.
Yeah.
Also, the bib bag is kind of actually a thing now. They make kids bibs that are like buckets at the bottom.
Wow.
Just like it's like a trough kind of
It's a
thing.
great idea. Yeah, people are gross, you know?
Yeah, people are
Philly
gross.
Sky was ahead of his time.
Truly.
Yeah. And
So-
Chris, you were the cinematographer on that, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You might not want to admit it, but
I don't think we use any lights, but yeah, I shot it.
you hit record.
I don't know. Based on the qualifications of like whether or not an actor would put this on their reel, I would absolutely put this on my reel. Like, look at this, please. Oh man, that was brilliant. That was super.
It's pretty
fun.
strong. Where are those guys? So Drew runs an ayahuasca sanctuary in Peru. Where's
Yes.
who's the other actor?
Matt Pulliam is his name, and I see him every once in a while around town. Matt Pulliam actually, I don't know if he still acts, but he started working in the production for Terrence Malick and was, if you guys remember, what is it called? A New World, not a New World, Tree of Life. There are those kind of cosmic scenes of like gas exploding in space and whatnot. Those were actually practically made in, I guess, a laboratory of some sorts. And Matt Pulliam was making that stuff. He was making these kind of, using like different chemicals and things thrown into water, like these various like kind of cosmic effects happen while filming them for Terrence Malick.
Wow.
So what you're saying is the bib bag was the highlight of his career.
Duh.
I think it was
The big
first on
bag.
his reel for a long time.
That's how he got. That's how he got to work with Terrence Malick. Terrence Malick was like, "Are you the big bad guy?" Because that's it. All right, thank you so much, Baron. That was so funny. Personally, I'm mad I'm not in that film actually. All right, up next we have Chris.
Chris, oh here
Tell us a little bit
before we play it, let's hear a little bit. Give us a little short intro about when this was made and a little bit about its history.
Okay, so this was in 2002. It was the first movie that I made in college at UNLV that wasn't an exercise. It was like, now you can go make a movie. The cut is 18 minutes. I cut it down to 6.5 for this. And you pretty much can still tell what the story is at 6.5. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk about what the rest of the movie at 18 minutes actually looks like.
All right, very good. And what's the title?
Perfect Sense.
All right, Chris McInroy, Perfect Sense.
With 12 minutes cut out of it.
Oh, good afternoon, Dr. Hoffman. I was just admiring this plant here.
What, the Lacona erythrophilia?
No. Well, yes, it's... I mean, look at it. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
He nailed that Latin.
I mean, look at the way the red...
It's just science, Maxwell.
It's just science, Maxwell.
Science. Dick, stop being such a...
Yeah,
I
Maxwell.
Preparations for today's
Dork.
experiment.
Yes, sir.
Gratuitous dolly, man. I love it.
Oh,
That
look
was
at
my
those cuts, though.
little requiem for a dream right there.
Yeah.
Fisheye.
You're also using an extreme wide angle here.
Of course
yeah.
it worked. I knew it would, and it did. That's how it
Really
works.
helps the Argyle
Go
on
get
that
the test
sweater
subject.
there.
Yes, doctor.
Oh, also, this takes
Now take
place in
dictation, Maxwell.
1943.
One healthy goldfish in fresh water will be our subject
I
today.
can
for
put, like,
completion
3
of
title
the
cards
test
out.
of lysergic acid diethylamide. We will administer 1 milliliter of
I didn't realize they
LSD
shot in
to
color
the
in
subject.
1943.
And
Wait till
monitor
they
for
see the
change in
security
behavior.
camera footage.
Oh, the security camera is my favorite.
So if you miss that, he's testing LSD right now.
Yes.
But they don't know it's LSD. They just think it's going to help cure migraines.
Nothing's
on a fish.
changing.
Smooth jazz. Cue the smooth
Rippy.
Uh-oh.
This SLC punk time.
Write down no change.
All right, doctor.
Bruh.
So, Chris, what are we talking about there? That's a smoke machine just underneath the camera?
There.
You're nothing but a big joke, Hoffman.
The nails.
You're a disgrace to society.
Let me get a Party City real quick.
Hey! You over here, you bumbling do-gooder. Things can happen, big things. You need to pull your head out of your arse. There's not an answer for everything, turkey.
Turkey.
I told you there's not an answer for everything.
I'm really trying to get hard to LSD opens your mind.
Is that how goldfish talk in 1943?
Oh, yeah.
The accent checks out.
No, I guess it didn't.
Oh.
Just tired. It's okay.
We had to ADR this entire movie, by the way.
No.
I can hardly tell.
Watch out!
Whoa!
Fishes don't fly?
That's
There's the security camera.
Doctor.
Like some great funny.
Don't camera.
Oh, this is great.
1 What?
That went on for like 6 minutes.
What are you doing?
I'm chasing the... Maxwell, would you be so kind as to escort me home?
Of course, Doctor.
It's a period piece.
How strange. What is wrong with me? Am I even moving? It feels as if I'm unable to move from this spot.
I find in this editing software.
Alas, Maxwell.
You used all of those effects, every one of them.
My voice
All
isn't
the sound
working.
effects I get to use.
The thing that translates thoughts into speech is broken. Maxwell. I need you to call my doctor family.
Oh, look at that writing.
I'm losing my line.
I'm losing my line.
You want me to call your family doctor?
What the hell
That was
did you
committed to
say?
paper, huh, Chris?
Just nod, you fool.
Okay.
Just switch some words around and you can flip them.
Yes, I love this room.
I don't remember my couch doing this. Wonder if couches have feelings. Can you hear me, couch?
Ouch.
Good evening.
All right, this
thank you for coming,
doctor
Doctor.
is my
Hey,
dad.
Dr. Hoffman, how are you this evening?
He's not an actor. He's just a great guy.
Not too
That's
talkative.
that's your
eh?
dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aw.
What a cutie.
Well, something's not right here.
See, Doctor? I told you so.
Dr. Hoffman, can you hear me, sir? Are you okay?
Well, search me. I haven't got a clue.
I like how the doctor just
sleep
gives
through
you
the
a-
night.
that's
Okay.
And call me in the morning.
Right?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you say, Doctor. Good night.
Good night.
Dr. Hoffman, wake up. I made you some breakfast. Are you feeling better?
I guess there was a dolly on the truck, so you just got to use it.
I feel
Every shot.
absolutely great.
He loves LSD.
May I?
So, what do you conclude happened to you last night?
This is the best food I've ever had in my life. Well, I don't really understand what happened, but I'm completely conscious of everything that I thought and felt. I recall everything. I feel absolutely splendid. I feel like
Is it possible it could be the lysergic acid diethylamide?
I can't say for sure,
It's just science.
but if it was, we got to make some more.
Science, Maxwell.
There it is.
Yes. So let's go trip again.
So good.
Thank you.
Where did you film that? Who's what?
That was in UNLV's like chemistry department.
But the house.
Oh, the house. There's this museum from outside of Vegas that is just basically a little town that's still in the 40s. It's like a museum. Everything, you can walk through it, and they let us shoot there.
Damn, that's crazy. It
Chris,
kind of looks like a high school boiler room, is what I thought earlier, and I was like, where do they get all this rusty shit? Incredible.
What was your motivation for writing the script, McInroy? Did you take some acid and then you were like, I gotta tell people about this?
Well, yeah, I used to do a lot of acid in high school for sure, and then I was on a road trip through Scotland, and I was reading about Albert Hoffman, who was trying to find a cure for migraines and accidentally discovered LSD. So I just wanted to make a movie about it. That's really it.
Amazing.
Pretty intense. I mean, you can tell that, I know now you mostly make like horror, slasher, darker films now, but like you can definitely tell the style is pretty, like the use of the red and this sort of green uncomfortable, like so many dollies. I just want to know, like, how have you developed your sort of filmmaking style over since this film was made at UNLV?
Here's what I learned, I think, through all these films is pacing is a very important thing in making movies. I've just been trying to like make things a lot faster, quicker shots, quicker energy, keep the audience entertained, and make things a lot shorter. Like I think my last movie was like 4 minutes or something. So That's, I think, my biggest lesson from all these school movies is pacing.
Yeah, but you kept the demon though. The demons basically are in every film you make.
My mom loves that part about me.
All right. Well, thanks. I just got a notification that we're at a 36-minute runtime.
Okay.
So
is that long?
figured, well, yeah, we're trying to keep it. We're trying to keep the kids interested.
Talking about pace here, Chris. We're talking about pace.
No, but I just wanted to, thank you for all of your film contributions. Those were all really, really round of applause for all of you.
And we're going to vote. Oh, before we vote, I want to show one special thing. It's not really a film, but it's a commercial. It's 30 seconds long.
That they all did together as well. So it's all a little treat, family treat here.
Yeah.
You're welcome, America.
So let's check this out. It's for the Texas Gas Service.
Remember we had a pole up there lifting that thing for him. It was so heavy.
Oh my God.
Get more from your gas appliances. Get money-saving rebates and conservation tips from the Texas Gas Service Conservation Program.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So was that money that fell out of the water heater? Was that the budget for the commercial?
That's basically what we got paid. Yes.
However much you could collect.
Oh my God. That was the first job we did as the Bear, the three of us. And that was a script that we got. I'm not sure if you guys remember. I don't even know how that came to us, but somehow we got hired to do that. And the three things I remember about it are that we had no idea how, we didn't even consider, and I guess I should say I didn't even consider how the actor was going to physically lift up a water heater until the night before. And I went, oh, that's going to be really heavy. And then it was too late. There was no way to create a fake water heater. So like Chris was saying, we had to have some type of pole or broomstick or something, and we had a chain around it, and so there were people on either end of that thing holding it up while the actor was in close up doing this. And then also the water heater is weirdly not connected to anything and in the middle of the garage for no reason whatsoever.
Just on a literal pedestal in the middle of the garage.
On a literal pedestal. This is your water heater.
And the craziest thing is that that commercial ran for 5 years. It was on forever.
Forever. So that was one of the three things. So the second was the night before it flooded. We were going to shoot in this guy's garage, the guy who hired us to do it. His garage totally flooded. So we showed up and it was literally like a swamp in there. So the first few hours we had to clean out mud and basically rebuild this garage to look like a garage. And then third, we shot this thing and turned it in, and I think the budget was $5,000, and that was back in the day that we would just all split the money 3 ways and just high five for an hour because we thought we were rich. We each made $1,200 and we were yeah, our troubles are over. But like Baron said, that played on TV here in Austin for the next 3 or 4 years. And oddly, now anymore, nothing gets played on TV. But I think we got kind of spoiled because we were oh yeah, our first job, it played on TV. No big deal.
Yes. I mean, if you can't laugh at what you thought was success earlier in your career, then yeah, you haven't made any growth. So that's a good sign.
That's still the high watermark. That's the best thing that we've ever done.
Yes, absolutely. That's what the World's Worst Film Festival is all about, just showing the best of the best.
I'll never get better than that digital fish.
No, never. Are you kidding? Come on.
So here are the three I want to. So Becky Joe, let's deliberate here. We got to give a trophy to one of these. So we got Perfect Sense, Chris McInroy, Bib Bag, Barrett Mater, and Pickpocket. I think the only reason the Bib Bag didn't take off is because it's one of those words you can't understand what it is. It has to be written.
Yes.
It's a terrible name, Barrett.
I didn't
why
invent
it's my
the name. I did not
I
come
think
up with the
it's fine.
name.
I think the bib bag is my favorite, but only based on the fact that it is truly, I don't know, that and it's clear storyline, brilliant cinematography. I'm gonna guess that one. Also,
I don't know. Perfect sense though. Let's pull this up one more time.
Pretty
And
damn good.
anyone online who wants to comment to help sway us here.
Yes. Also, people online can be donating to Hyperreal Films and Austin Film Society this whole time. If you would like to pledge some money to those filmmakers and production companies, they would love your support.
Yeah. Everybody knows about AFS for the most part here in Austin, and they're great. Hyperreal is super awesome. They have screenings and promotions for local filmmakers in Austin and Central Texas, and they bring a lot of awareness to filmmakers that usually don't have an outlet to show, and they pick really off the beaten path, interesting venues as screening facilities. So if you haven't heard of them, check out Hyperreal. They're really doing some great work. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know.
Now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm changing my mind. Now that I'm looking at the actual, because, well, there was that one fat kid joke that did not age well in Pickpocket, so that could be used for blackmail.
That is true. No, I'm disqualified because Barrett and Chris still use that on their actors' reels. So.
True.
Just their actor reel is just that entire run of that video. That's.
Hey, so by process of elimination, does it have to be perfect sense? I think it has to be. Wait. Oh, here we go. We have votes. One for Bib Bag.
I think Bib Bag. I think it has to come down to between Bib Bag and Perfect Sense, especially because that was more of a cinematography experience. Working on Pickpocket. So these two, though, it was like scripted narrative work.
Genius.
Genius.
You can go ahead and say it, Derek. Genius.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
What do you think, Becky Jo?
I think I'm gonna have to stick with Bib Bag. I
think Bib Bag is it. I think Barrett's gonna win this thing.
Yeah.
And Barrett, we have a special prize for you. And you can use this on any future projects, or y'all can put it on your website. So here it is. The best worst film goes to Barrett Mader.
All right.
Look at that.
Isn't that nice?
Wow.
Thank you.
That's about as good as Perfect Sense, I
I won.
Is that like a crown of thorns? Like, what is happening? Like,
it's what you can do in 30 seconds in After Effects, and
True.
Is that Zaza?
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
Did you
Zaza.
This is I won an award. This is Zara.
Oh, hey Zara.
Hi, Zara.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zaza, your daddy won an award.
It's not the award I'm most proud of.
It's for the best worst. World's worst. You know, how we do here on the World's Worst Film Festival, episode 2. This was fun. Congratulations, Barrett. You did it.
Thank you guys. It's good to be with you.
Congratulations to you all for being vulnerable and showing off your best cringeworthy stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and hopefully, you guys have a lot of fans. People love you. They're gonna look back and they're gonna go, "I can do this," because look at what Ben, Barrett, and Chris did.
Exactly. And just and to the audience and other filmmakers watching this, please, if you want to send your best worst films, you can email info@originatorstudios.com, and they will, if you submit anything, we would love to see your best worst, and hopefully have you on the show if you'd like to join us.
That may prove to be the worst idea that we've ever done, depending on
Bring it on.
what we get. But yeah, we plan on doing more. I hope everyone stays safe, stays distant, and yeah, thanks again so much for being here, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This is a blast.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
It was lovely getting to chat with y'all.
All right, you too. Stay sanitized.
Until next time.
Bye, y'all.
See you guys. Bye.